It's a little bit odd because the first place I ever went in Ukraine was I went to Lugansk, and that's of course unusual in all standards. And now today, being in the occupied territory, it's very unusual. But I came in 2013, in early 2013, and frankly speaking, I was thinking it was a fantastic city. I really liked being there. It was 500,000 people. They were very friendly, and everybody was curious because I was, talking Danish. Because of the good reception we got by the Ukrainian people in Lugansk, we actually started our company there in the summer of 2013. And history, as you know, changed a little bit, and you had this Maidan, and you had Lugansk was occupied, but our staff actually decided to stay in Lugansk because they like it so much. But in May 2014, some soldiers broke into our office and tried to burn it down. Obviously, we had to move then. At that point, our staff was working from home, so it was easy. Nobody was harmed. Only our office had some damage. But what we did was they phoned us up, asked me where should we go, and I said it's summer, it's 2014. This war will be over in 2 months, so let's go to Odessa. So they went to Odessa, and of course things took longer time. But we are still in Odessa, and they really appreciate being here, and so do I. It's a great, fantastic city. So happy to be here. I think that we get a good support from the oblast, and I'm happy about that, from the region. You can say we are used to doing our things ourselves, but of course it's nice to have good support. And I think the business potential, which is indirectly what is most important here, is very, very huge for Ukraine. I think no matter which region you're in, there's huge potential. But of course, if you have a very cooperative region like we have here, it's easier for the city and easier for the business. So I think there's a huge potential in Ukraine generally. And I think the trend of Ukraine since 2014, where you get closer and closer ties with EU, makes business here much easier. So it's a good move you have going in Ukraine, and I'm happy to support your country. I'm happy to be here, and our company for sure will continue to stay and continue to grow. We will do our best to do that at least. I lived in Denmark most of my life. The only time I lived outside of Ukraine is now when I live in Odessa. So I only can compare these two. But I've done business all over the world. But if we disregard that, you can say Ukraine culture is in some respects different from Danish and in some very similar. And having done business all over the world, all over Asia, Northern America, all European states, what I like about Ukraine is that business is one thing, but if you're finished having business and you go out to have a beer and dinner, I'd love to go out with Ukrainians. It's fun, they're very close to Danish in the humor and things like that, and that makes it a very nice friendship to have. And I believe that if you have fun and friendship, you will do better business. So for that reason, I'm happy to be in Ukraine. You can say there's cultural differences, of course. Your country is not as rich as ours. But on the other hand, you are very good at taking care of each other because of this, which is very cool to see that you so much care about your fellow neighbors. You have some things where you're a little bit more believing in authority, where Danes is like they don't give sorry for swearing, but they don't give a shit who we're talking to. So I'll give you an absurd example for that. In '94, I still have a company, but I had a company called Denson, and we had one of our dealers who sell this audio equipment from Denson phoned me up and says that the Danish Crown Prince want to buy an amplifier from us. And this dealer says, Thomas, you need to deliver it now. And I said, but there's 2 weeks delivery time. And this guy said, but it's the Crown Prince, you should have it now. And I said, no, we don't do difference between our customers. So he has to wait like everybody else. And that's typical Danish, that even though he's the Crown Prince and I respect the royal family of Denmark, when it comes to treating people, we will actually treat them equal and respectful to everybody. And that is probably a little bit different from what you sometimes do in your country. It also means that Danes are more pushing. They will ask me what I could say, not stupid question, but they will ask me questions in the company, whereas Ukrainians will be more reluctant to ask me. But for successful companies to be successful, it's important that you challenge the boss, that you actually kind of ask him, why do you do this? Why don't you do this? Because sometimes they come with things that's better than what I thought about. And then of course we need to follow that road. And Ukrainians is lacking a little bit there. So this has been one of the biggest challenges for me to come to Odessa, is to kind of making them understand that I'm a nice, not angry boss, so they can ask me everything. And it begins to show off now, and it makes our company stronger, that they work the right way because they understand that this is the right way because they talked with me, or they work the right way because they actually came with a suggestion that's better. But working the right way just because you're afraid of the boss will never get you a strong company. Just make a kind of a company of fear. And I believe people should be motivated by joy in working in the company instead. So that is something we need to change, but we're working on that. And I think your country is generally on the right way with this track, because if you look at Maidan, in some way it's also an attack on authority and changing it to be a kind of a people's country. So very important movement you have going. You already give me what I expect, because you give us good support and you're friendly and you're helpful. And I think in all kind of life, one of the biggest motivating factors is when people clap you on the shoulder and say good work and kind of give you a small push the right way. And they are doing that already, and they're very friendly. And it's actually in most aspects like I'm used to in Denmark, where officials also will help me. And I think there has been a change in culture the last 5 years when I've been here, towards being much more helpful for foreign investment. And I believe that if you support companies like us, because we pay all our taxes and because we grow and because we give people a good life, then actually it will lift the life for everybody, because our staff, the salary they get, they will use in shops, they will use on various things. And the taxes we pay will improve country and region for everybody. So I'm happy to see that this is taking place. Everything. I don't believe you can pick out an industry for the future, because if you could do that, everybody was just trying to do that. And I think if we had this conversation, let's say 40 years ago, we would not be looking at a camera in a mobile phone, we would not be using computers, we would not have mobile phones at all. So you cannot foresee the future. So a good region is a region, and also a good country is a good country that actually protects and help all businesses, because some of these businesses which may look like crazy today may tomorrow be very big. I mean, who would have imagined 15 years ago that Facebook would be something where we all communicate with our friends? But we do. So the idea that politicians can decide what is the future is not really the truth. They don't have a magic ball they can book in. You can say there's only a few things you can know for sure, and one of them is that you need to take care of our country and the world. So you need to don't pollute, you need to be environmental friendly, you need to go to renewable energy, things like that, because that is improving the climate and the earth generally. But other than that, it's very difficult to say about the future. I'll probably take a holiday. I need one, but I actually I could not imagine myself doing anything else than I'm doing now. I moved to Odessa for a short period of time, I thought, because I thought now I'm coming here, I would, after half a year, appoint a new director in our company. But I just love being here. I love the team I'm working with, so I decided that I will actually stay in Odessa. So if I had 3 months where I could do what I wanted to do, I would actually just continue the projects we have going now. I like to see people are happy and motivated. I like to see joy, and I like to see progress. I hate when nothing is going forward.